New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
You're finding us with smiles on our faces because we love that song. Thank you so much, Ray Davis, for our theme song, Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Doesn't it just make you smile?
It does. It really does. I just love that little at the ending.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's who we are. We are Girls Behaving Metaphysically. I am Robyn Rice Olmsted.
And I'm Dr. Natasha Wilson, coming to you all the way from beautiful Queensland, Australia.
That's where she is.
Yeah, Robyn, where are you today?
I'm sweating it out in Albuquerque, New Mexico today. Woo! So it's the dead of summer here and it's the dead of winter there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
She's got her heater on and I'm begging my husband to turn the air on. That's a whole nother story, but okay, that's another topic. We won't get into that.
Oh my God, I'm so curious about what you were about to say.
Okay, so it's crazy. I love my husband like nobody's business, but I don't understand the way he thinks sometimes. So when it's cold, when it's time to put the heat on, when it's cold outside, when him and his first wife had their children, they went to the doctor, took the kids to the doctor, and the doctor told them, well, you might have to turn the heat up in the house. Because when he turned the heat up, he would turn it up to 62. I'm like, at that point, why bother? Just get another blanket, because that's just ridiculous. So the other day we come in to the house in New Mexico, and I'm like, is the air on? He's like, yeah, I have it turned on. I'm like, calculating in my head, knowing my husband, I said, what's it on? He's like, I've got it down to 80. What? Why? Anyone who can fill me in and give me your perspective, please do, because 80, that's cool. I'm like, just turn it off, let's just sweat, forget it, but instead of pretending we're going to be cool. So anyway.
So people on my side of the world, that's in Fahrenheit, because I know we do things in Celsius. That's Fahrenheit. So that's probably about 27, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the air conditioner.
Whatever it is, it's too cold and too hot. I don't care what the numbers are. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's where we are. We're two girls on opposite sides of the world, and yet with so many things in common.
So many beautiful things in common. Yes. And one of the things is that we are kind of woo-woo. And Robyn usually gives a beautiful definition of like what woo-woo is, but we're grounded woo-woo, right? So we're like, yeah, we might pull a tarot card or two, but then we're going to really extrapolate it to its practical to its practical ends, right? So we're woo-woo and we're also very grounded. So we pulled a card last week, and then last week we sort of asked you to take that message into the week with you.
Right.
And Robyn, can you sort of remind us of what that card was?
Yes. The card was answering the call. The time is now. Answering the call. The time is now. So
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, how did that play out in your week, or as you think back on your week, how did it play out?
Okay, so how did it play out in my week? So if I'm being fully honest, I didn't think about it very consciously. However, what I do know is that I don't always need to think about it consciously, because I know it's like working back there in the sort of the recesses of my consciousness. And I think about actually how this week I've actually been called to really listen to my needs. And so I've started new work. I think I mentioned that, like, so I still have my private practice, but I've taken on this new work. And it's in a clinic. And the pace, because I also remember last week, the card I believe I pulled was about to slow down. And so I came to awareness that as I was observing the pace at which folks moved in the clinic, it was very hectic, very, very hectic. And I felt this real sense of I don't drive with this. This pace does not work for me, because I always like to remind myself, and I know this might sound morbid, but I don't care. I like to remind myself that one day I am going to die. So I don't need to hurry it along. It will happen. So when I'm like feeling very hectic and I'm like, what is all this hectic energy for? Like, we all are going to die. So we can just chill. Like, we don't have to hurry up unless we're just ready to die sooner. And I don't. I'm really clear. I really want to stay in this particular incarnation until my daughters are well into adulthood. That's what I've said. And then I want to die peacefully. So anyways, I'm in clinic saying, we're all going to die. This is what I'm saying to myself. And so I'm like, why don't we all just slow down? And then I'm saying this inside myself. And then I'm saying, I'm just going to slow down. I'm going to slow down. And so it really allowed me, as I leaned into slowing down, to just be able to observe without getting pulled into sort of the zeitgeist or sort of the energy of like what everybody else is doing. Right. And it also allowed me to write this very beautiful email that my former self would have never written. Basically saying to my team of colleagues, I won't work like this. I need to slow down, because I know that one day we're all going to die, and we can slow down. So that's how I took it into my week.
That's
great. Now I'm the weird clinician.
Yay! That's great. That's absolutely perfect, right? Who wants to be the normal clinician? How weird is that?
I know nothing about me is
no, but I mean, I think what's really important about that is that you stood your ground. You know, I found myself saying a lot this week to different people on different things. I'm like, that's none of our business. It's none of our business how somebody's going to take it. It's none of our business what they're going to think. It's none of our business what they're going to do with it. Mm-hmm. My business is what is right for me and what needs to be done in order for me to move forward, or for a project to move forward in a way that feels right. So I think that's an amazing accomplishment, especially being new, because you're, generally we're usually like, what are they going to think? And I don't want to be the weird clinician and all those things. But it's like, really, I don't know. I just feel like I'm at that point in my life too, where it's like, who cares?
Like seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. No, seriously.
That's fantastic.
Like, yeah. I was like, I don't want to be salaried, because I really want the luxury of just walking away if I need to. Like, I'm just too old. I know, like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm not interested in being hurried along.
Well, and let's rephrase it a little bit. Okay? Because yes, and let's not rephrase it as we're too old and we're gonna die at some point.
Oh, I like it. That gives me hope.
Well, but
Okay,
I don't think you're too old. I mean, I think that it's fine that we're all gonna leave this body, but you're not too old. I mean, you're just seasoned enough to know what you want and what works for you.
Yeah, Robyn, also, like, seriously, I'm too old to like fall for the bull swanky.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to like not swear, because I'm not quite sure what the rules are about swearing. But like, I just am not falling for the bull swanky. Like none of this, like, we can't take none of this bull swanky with us, right? Like, we're just here to have a good time, and then die. Like, and just leave me alone. Like, I just want to die. Like, I just leave me alone. Like, if you want to be stressed out, like, go. Leave me alone. I'm going to die. And I don't want to die stressed. And I don't care. I don't have any value having my gravestone saying, "Here lies Natasha. She couldn't get those last freaking 10 pounds off, and she worked so much that she just was so stressed out that she had acne." Fuck off. Leave me alone. I'm gonna die. And that makes me happy.
Well, and I'm gonna die my way.
Exactly.
It may not be pretty. I may not have accomplished everything that I wanted to, but it'll be perfect for me.
Yes. So I personally, I know other people may not like saying, like, I'm too old for the bull swanky, but seriously, I am close to my 5th decade on this planet. I'm too old to believe the bull swanky.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to try to talk you out of it.
Thank you. And I really need to hold on to my saying that I'm going to die, because that really
That's
helps
okay.
Everything is a perspective for me.
Okay, everything is a perspective. And the perspective for me, when you say I'm too old to blah, 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 as opposed to I'm old enough to know better. Because too old implies that the older we get, at some point, it's over, which, you're saying, it is. And that's true. But to not hurry it along, I would choose to affirm the wisdom that you've gained throughout the years, and being old enough to realize that this isn't the way you want to do it.
Robyn, and that's why I love you. Because, like, I can have you in this ear saying, you're old enough to be aware of how you move through the world and what you need. And then in this ear, I have, this shit is bull swanky. I know I'm going to die, and I am not playing this game, okay? I'm going to move real slow. I'm going to take my time, and y'all could keep rushing around, but then sending out emails, how nothing ever actually gets done. So how is that possible that everybody could be so stressed out and so frantic, and yet nothing ever gets done? Okay. I'm not falling for it.
Gotcha.
I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
All right. So the question was, for everybody out there, how did you take this out into your week? And just so you know, we are pre-recorded this week. But even if you put your comments in the chat, we'll get back to you on them and
Yes, we will.
after the show. So yeah, so my week, the way I took it out, it was interesting. The time is now. I didn't really consciously think about it, but I did leave it on my desk so that I would at least look at it at some point in time. And I think for me, it just keeps coming up in different ways. So it's really like, you know, certain things, like when I'm faced with, I mean, I do a lot of things. And when I'm in a meeting or invited to be in a meeting or inviting to participate in something new, I really have to stop and think, is the time now? Is this the time? Or whatever it is that's at the forefront of what I want to get done or what I want to be, the time is now. And I really found that, you know, this week, being involved in a lot of work at various spiritual centers and trying to make various things happen. I find myself in a lot of leadership positions. And from one position arose another. I was like, oh my God, well, there's got to be a creative arts ministry. There needs to be this and this and this. And all of it was just flowing out of me. And I was like, damn it. Is this mine to do? And Spirit was like, and I was like, all right, okay. So I was like, all right, the time is now, you know? And so, like, instead of being something I lamented about, it was something I wrote a proposal for in, you know, an hour and sent it off, you know? And I was like, I was kind of baffled by that, because I was like, it's so interesting because I have so many things on my to-do list. And then, like, something comes along that's not that jumps the line, you know? And I go, wow, how'd you get there? But it was easy and effortless to send it out and to do. And not that I want to take on anything else, but I have to honor the space in me that sees what the time is now for. Even if I'm the person to carry it through, I may be just the person to bring it up and bring it out, or I may be, you know, the person to do it. Unfortunately, it seems like I'm generally the person to do it. But that's all right. It's okay. So that's how my time is now played out. It just played out in a lot of areas like that. That things kept coming up in places to be able to be vocal and say things where I was like, okay.
Time is now.
So that's what happened. I think what we need to do is take a break. And when we come back, let's pull a card and we're going to work on a little more question and answers and getting to know each other. Does that sound right to you?
That sounds right to me. And it also sounds good.
Excellent. So the time is now for a break from these sponsors from New Thought Media Network. We'll see you back here.
Go pee.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
People of African Descent New Thought Group proudly presents Celebrating Our Soul, Consciously Creating Change at Unity Village, Thursday, August 1st through Sunday, August 4th. Some of our greatest keynote speakers, some of our finest musicians and vocalists, some of our amazing and experienced panelists, and some of our fabulous masterclass presenters will be there for you at Celebrating Our Soul, Consciously Creating Change at Unity Village this summer. Regular registration ends June 30th, so don't delay. Register today at padntg.com. Sponsorship opportunities are available at padntg.com. Volunteer opportunities are available at padntg.com. Go there now, padntg.com. See you there.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here comes the girl. It's more than practical. Here comes the girl. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, you are back with Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
That's right.
She's Dr. Natasha Wilson.
That's right.
And I'm Robyn Rice Olmsted.
I think.
Okay. Well, I've got three things right. All right. So how good it is to be here with you. And I just want to say how grateful I am to be here actually on New Thought Media Network. And I just want to thank all of our donors and sponsors and all of the people that give so freely. And I want to invite you to do that. If you are moved by anything that we say or anything that you feel from our show or anything from any of the shows, just put in a little offering. It doesn't matter what size it is. It just matters that it's from your heart. So we welcome that. We thank you for that. And that's what keeps this kind of program going.
Yeah.
So that said, you're probably wondering what the card of the week is. Natasha, I think are you shuffling?
It's me. Yep. So I am just cutting this deck 3 ways. Because I love this community so much, I am doing everything I can to stay in the center of the screen. So I'm just going to pull from here. Oh, no. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. I'm pulling again. Because we did that. That card already came up before. So give me a moment. I think maybe I do need to shuffle. Okay.
So in spiritual talk, we might call that spiritual bypass, depending upon what it is. Or it might just be we're bored, we're tired, we don't want to do the other card. Sometimes we try to make more out of a thing than a thing is. So let's see what the new thing says.
Yeah. All of that. Okay. So offer. So I'll tell you what came up, but that's because I hadn't shuffled the deck because I was trying to stay in the middle of the screen. So I didn't shuffle the deck, and what it was a card that we had already pulled up. So what I needed to do was shuffle the deck. So I was like, okay, let me just shuffle it. So anyway, so this is the actual card after shuffling the deck. Offer.
So what does that mean to you?
No, let me sit with it for just a second. I mean, I find it really auspicious that it sort of emerged right after the comments you made about New Thought Media and actually it's the image of the actual card deck. It's the back of the card. It's the image of the card itself. But after you made the announcement about what it takes to put on programming like this and to support this kind of a voice, this type of way of being, bringing this into the world, right? Like not just Girls Behaving Metaphysically, but all the other wonderful shows that are on the network.
Right.
Like it requires like the offerings of love from other people, right? It requires that. And so I just feel like that this is the card that came up. Just feels like it sort of moves quite beautifully in alignment with what the announcement you had just made.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kind of an invitation to share your gifts. What can you offer to the bounty? Yeah, that's interesting. I think for me, I mean, it was relative. It was similar. It was really about, you know, what in. I mean, to me, just the position and the offer brought up just gratitude and sharing what I have to give from that place. Kind of, what can I offer? Creating that space. And I think that is an interesting thing to think about, because like, just as we go through everyday life, like, I don't know, there's so many times I hold back. And can I offer something else?
Did you say so many places I can offer something else?
I think I said there's so many places. I don't know what I said. I think I said there's so many places where I don't know what I said. Like, my brain goes too fast. I'm way past that. There's just so many places where I could probably offer more. You know, or where there's the possibility to give, not necessarily monetarily, but just give of myself, give of my spirit, give of my wisdom. Like, don't you ever have, like, okay, so do you have any moments like that you regret? So think about that. You don't have to answer me. I always think about this.
Okay.
I always think about this moment where I was at Disneyland and we were coming home. We were at Disneyland. We were sitting there waiting for the bus. And there was this little girl sitting with her mom, and I was sitting by them. And it was cold. It was freezing. I mean, she was like, and I don't even remember now if it was a scarf or a hat or something that I wanted to give to her. And I had seen in my mind, even before it happened, I had the vision of me handing somebody my something that I had in the car. Didn't do it. Like, and when she got on the bus or I got on the bus, like, I was like, why did I do it? And like, I still think about that. Clearly, because here I am talking about it. But, and so like, I don't know, like moments like that, those missed opportunities are like, I don't know, like I'm always so impressed with, well, my husband specifically, who, like, you know, he will talk to anybody, you know. So the guy with the sign and the cup and the wanting your money and the this and the that, he'll have a conversation with them, you know, and shake their hand at the end or hug them. And I'm like, wow. Because I'm like, okay, let's make sure you keep your distance and we get in the car. And, you know,
Sorry.
But you know what I mean? And he's like, well, hold on. Let me just see what he wants. Well, wait, what do you mean what he wants? He's standing there with a sign, or he's, you know. So it's like, where can we give of our spirit? You know, what can we offer of our spirit more than, not even more than dropping $1 in someone's cup? I mean, that's easy to do, but it's like when I find the people or my husband or whatever that shakes the hand or hugs the person or really goes above and beyond. You know what I mean?
I hear you for sure. Yeah. What about that though? Like, tell me what you're saying. That's
just what the offer means to me.
So offering.
How can we offer of ourselves?
Offer of ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can all write a check on some level, even if it's not as much as we would like. You know what I mean? We can all drop $1 in the cup. But
Yeah.
how do we really offer of our spirit?
That's a beautiful question. So hopefully, like, folks, please engage with that question. Like, how can we offer of ourselves? How can we offer more of ourselves? Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the card for today.
Yes.
And then are we going to pull another one at the end?
I think so. Yeah, that's
All
what we
right.
said we would do. Yeah.
So then we'll pull another one at the end and leave you with a card for the week. But in between that, we're going to get to know each other a little better and find out what the heck we're doing here and why we have a show. So, would you like to start or would you like me to start?
Can we just back up just a little moment? Because, like, I was really still sitting with the offer.
Okay, I thought you were.
No. Well, yes and no. But because I was sitting with offer, so I said the initial way was like, I thought it was really interesting that this was a card that came right at the end of the announcement that that you made about what it takes to bring these kinds of shows or to provide a platform for these types of discussions and an avenue for this type of discourse in the world. That it takes people's love offerings, right, of financial generosity to keep that going. So that was the first thing that popped up to me because it came on the back of that. But it was interesting that, as I was sitting with, you had said something about offering more of ourselves, right? So yeah, anybody can write a check, but what does it look like to give of yourself? So like the scarf. And it's just interesting because I was just sitting with like, yeah, and what does it take like to discern offerings? So like when things are on offer to me, because I feel like I have been the kind of person, and I think this might lead into where we're going today in terms of just letting folks know a little bit about us, and how we landed here. But I used to really sort of have this sense that I have to take whatever is on offer. Like, so whatever's offered to me, I have to be grateful for, I have to take it. And that used to cut across multiple domains in my life. And I feel right now, because I'm really in this new phase, I feel like, of my career, I'm being very discerning about what I take on, like when things are offered, that I can be discerning about what I accept and what I don't. Yeah. Like what I accept in terms of what is offered truly is a reflection of my my sort of evolution of self around my sense of worth. And I'm just really experiencing that right now. So I'm sort of like having an experience with the concept of offering in a different way, right? So I'm seeing the blessings of abundance of things being offered. And because my sense of self has been evolving, and I hope that's true for all of us, I don't accept everything that comes my way. I'm very discerning. That is the offer in alignment with how I experience my sense of self at this point in my life. Yeah. So that's what came up for me and what I'm sitting with as we sit with the card of the day, or the card for this segment. Right. Rather. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to think about. Yeah. I'm actually, I was looking at a quote that I was going to put in our banner, but somehow my banner thing isn't working producer Michael. I don't know why, but I can't get it to bannerize. So I'm just gonna read it to you, and it says it's a quote by Henry Nolan, which says, "Did I offer peace today? Did I bring a smile to someone's face? Did I say words of healing? Did I let go of my anger and resentment? Did I forgive? Did I love? These are the real questions. I must trust that the little bit of love that I sow now will bear many fruits here in this world and the life to come." And so that, to me, kind of just sums up what we were just saying. Where can we look to see what we've given, or what we can offer, and I don't think it's a big thing. I mean, it may be a big thing, but not a big thing to us. Like sometimes it may just be taking a breath before we speak. So in that question of did I offer peace today? So, okay. All right. So moving on, getting to know each other a little better, letting everybody get to know us and why we're here and what this show's about. And so, Natasha, I'm going to start. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. I have a couple of questions that I was thinking about. Well, let's go with this one. Do you consider yourself a hunter or a gatherer?
Oh, probably a gatherer.
How come?
And it probably it also needs, I think it is also like context based. Because I am super ambitious, so I guess I can sometimes be like, I could experience the energy of ambition as like a hunter. But then I also think there's definitely a part of me that in my ambition is also like I gather information, I gather knowledge, I gather experiences, I gather food. I gather. So tell me about this question. What is this question? Where is it coming from? And why is this the question?
What do you want me to ask you? Like what your favorite food is? I mean, I just decided if we're going to talk about things, why not dive deep into different things? I don't have normal questions. I mean, I'd rather know, like, if you were on a deserted island, who would you want to be with? Or if one song was going to play every time you walked into the room, what song would that be? Or,
I like those.
Yeah. Well, great. I have all of those in my head, but
okay.
I mean, I'm not going to ask you normal things because this is not a normal show.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the fact, I will say that this show is about putting the spirit back in spirituality. And I just want to share that I have almost finished my Mai Tai.
Okay.
So I'm ready to play full out.
Okay, good.
In not a normal way.
Let me tell you, I think the question is okay. I don't know if it's normal or not. I was just curious about the question itself. So I'm actually curious, like, if you were on a desert island, who would you want to be with?
My husband.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah, I really would. I mean, I really like him.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I can't even really think of anybody else. I mean, I had a moment where I was like, oh, Oprah Winfrey or I don't know, somebody that I thought would be entertaining to talk to, but at the end of the day, I really like him. I made a good choice.
That must feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh, now I have to have him watch the show.
Yeah, of course you do. That's really nice. I love it. That's sweet.
How about you?
At first I said Jason Momoa. Right.
That's a good
And
choice.
then I was like, I know, but I was like, I don't really know what he looks like. I was just thinking about the haka. I've seen him do the haka. And you know how I feel about the haka.
Right.
Like everybody knows I like a good haka. But then I was like, I don't really know him. I was like, what if he's like annoying? And so then I was like, then I just was going through my head, and I did too. I was like, well, do I want my partner? Do I want him there? And I was like, no. And then I was just nobody. I don't want anybody there. Like, I like being left alone, like mostly. Like, honestly, I think I would love being on that island just by myself with 3 good Octavia Butler novels. Maybe a bottle of vodka.
Only one for the whole island journey?
No, I would need to learn how to make it because I have a feeling I would want to stay on that deserted island. Yeah. And maybe Jason Momoa could come visit and do the haka and then leave. And that's it.
That's like a production on the island. Okay, so how about if you got to be on that island, but it was with one person that's not around anymore, that's passed away, or that's a fictional character?
Okay, now you're getting deep. I'm about to cry. I don't want to be doing that on the Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Just kidding. I don't know, but I don't want him to stay. I don't want anybody to stay on the island. Can we make that the rule? They need
they're
to be
only
able
allowed to come visit the island?
Yes, they have to leave. Okay. So I was thinking like my dad, my biological dad. Like, I feel like if he were to come back into life and I would think like he would be way more gentler, and that I could actually sit down and have a conversation with him. And still I need him to leave because I like being by myself.
I think that's the point though to the island, is like that you're stuck there with them. Like,
then I changed my mind.
Time. Otherwise it would just be like, who do you want to have a conversation with that's no longer here?
Yeah. Okay. Then, Robyn, honestly, I don't want anybody. I just want a book.
Okay. I would have my sister.
See, like if I went to that island and I could have that experience right there, and then they could leave too, then I'm good.
Well, maybe like if you were picking someone out, they don't have to leave. Maybe they just don't speak.
Robyn, I don't want to be stuck with anybody. That feels really like hard. That feels terrible, the thought of being stuck.
Okay.
I really like people to leave. Like, I like them to come. I like us to be together. I like connection. But I don't want to be stuck. Maybe we need another word, because stuck, this sister don't like that word.
Well, if I could be with somebody that wasn't there, I would pick my sister. Yeah. She was gone way too soon, and we had too much fun together. So I think it would be, even though we annoyed each other, that's who I would pick. Which is interesting because, like, generally, I don't think I've ever had that answer before to that kind of question. Generally, it's like, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln or something, but somebody.
Abraham Lincoln.
Robyn, you know what I mean? Just somebody in history, or somebody that you want to know more about. I don't know. That's the only person I could think of. But anyway, all right. Okay. So what's another question?
So tell me why you invited me to host this show with you. Do you need another Mai Tai, sister?
No, I mean, I think that, so this show is really about, to me, this show is about breaking boundaries, not getting put in a box, being a badass spiritual warrior on some level. And I mean, I think that it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to do that. And I think that, and to balance everything else in life, because, there are those people that go overboard on one thing and, but to balance it. And so I think that, when we started having this conversation, I think it was even really before you had kids.
It was.
In a loose way. And, yeah, I mean, you have all those components, I mean, I think that it doesn't matter where you're at in your studies or in your goal to get somewhere or any of that, because where you are is perfect. And it's really, I mean, I feel the intention and the velocity and the power of where you've come from and where you'll be. So it doesn't matter where you are in your mind. Wow, I am way woo today.
I know, girl.
When I heard someone say that, I'd be like, what the hell did she just say? But that's why. I mean, because your presence and who you are and the potential of who you are and what you're living into, I think that's what Girls Behaving Metaphysically is, because it's a show about not being put in a box and really recognizing that all is spiritual. And if we can really recognize that, then we recognize it when a check bounces or when we buy a BMW. It doesn't matter. It's all the balance of life. One isn't worse than the other or better than the other. And you embodied all of that.
Yeah. So interesting, because I've done both of those things several times before, like during the course of our relationship, buy BMW and bounce a check. And I have to tell you, like, I want to tell you why I said yes to you. I'm not sure I would have said yes to anybody else, but why I said yes to you. And right before I say that, this whole piece around breaking barriers and not being put in a box, which is really why the idea of being stuck on an island doesn't work. If I don't like to be in a box, I don't want to be stuck. That being said, like, the reason I said yes to you is because there was a realness to you that I experienced. And I'm not saying, and I'm not saying, and I'm saying that in the context of my time with and in New Thought. And I'm not saying that people that I've come into contact with or that I've formed relationships with in this community, spiritual community, are not real. I'm just saying there was I remember like working with you, and you weren't like, you didn't sugarcoat existence. You didn't, it was like, there wasn't like this sort of toxic positivity. It was like, nah, sis, we're going to get with this, like what's really happening. We can be with the suffering. Like we can be with suffering and still know that God is present. And I felt like you were one of the first people that I met, that I experienced, who walk that walk. And I was like, that's something special.
Nice.
That is something special. And so when you invited me on the show, when you had a different co-host, I could feel that in how you carried the show. Yeah, and so I was so honored when you did ask me. I was like, yes, you know, and even though it was like a yes and it took many, many years for that yes to like finally happen or show up in the actual show. Yeah, I don't think I would have said yes to a project like this really with anybody else. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And here we are. Unbelievable. No, it is. It's interesting though what takes us where we're going.
Mm.
So that's just a little bit about us, folks. You can keep tuning in to find out way more. But for now, we're going to pull a card and get on down the road. Ease on down the road.
Yeah.
So this is our card of the week. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. The card is the same card as last week. Answering the call. The time is now. I can pull another one, or we could really go deeper. What is really being called forth right now? You know, and that may mean letting go of other things, but what is, if you only had, you know, a specific amount of time left on the planet, what would be the time right now? What would be yours to do? So I just opened to another one. I'll put it up here too.
Okay.
Is grace and gratitude. Grace and gratitude.
Oh my God.
And it says, through gratitude, joy expands.
Oh my God. I Robyn.
Yes.
Robyn. You know how our very first show, we were just talking about how like we're in this unified field of awareness, and because like we just kept having all these things where like you were thanking me and I was texting you at the time, you were thanking me, vice versa, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. For my work so far this week. So today is Tuesday here. So my clients I saw Monday to the time before the show, literally the place I landed is giving them all growth work that looks at habituating the movement between gratitude and grace. So gratitude when their anxiety is high or when fear is present, to meet it with gratitude. And when the habit to be hard on the self emerges, or beating the self up, to meet it with grace. And to habituate the movement between grace and gratitude in the place of anxiety and loathing. Gratitude and grace. I'm done. I am done. We are in the unified field of awareness. I know.
Are you going to preach?
I was about to, but I just pulled myself back. I'm just going to pull back.
All right.
So,
there will be no preaching today. However, if you join us next week, we can't promise that will be the truth. So take these cards out into your awareness. Grace and gratitude. Answering the call.
Wow.
Maybe it's answering the call to grace and gratitude. Whatever it means for you, take it out into your week. And
girl,
I'll be here next week. You'll be
girl. We are in the unified field. I might still, y'all, we might start the show next week and I'm still going, girl.
You know, if you've learned nothing here today, take this away with you. Spirit does not play.
Hello.
Spirit does not play. Spirit will always give you what you need. And so we hope that that's here with us, and we welcome you. We're so excited to have you and hear what you have to say about this. Please leave comments. We'll look at them during the week and come back next week, and we'll continue the conversation because, girl, the time is now.
Serious, Robyn, I know you said Spirit don't play, but Spirit is the #1 player.
Well, there's that. Those are two completely different shows. So keep coming back, and we'll see you next week. Thank you to our producer, Michael Mangus. You can watch his show Friday nights right here on New Thought Media Network. You can watch Rockin' the Love tomorrow at noon. You can never be away from us if you choose to keep coming back, because we're one big family. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace and blessings.